Bill, it was a great gimmick, but there was only one problem. I was terrified of snakes.
That's when you started doing drugs.
Yeah. My wife will tell you that's probably the reason I started doing drugs.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of Sportskeeda Wrestling and Bill Apter's the Apter Chat Scouting Reports. Once again, it's my pleasure to have Jake the Snake Roberts with me. Before we get into talking about who we're going to talk about, is who invented the whole snake character for you? I don't even think I know this.
Well, I was Jake the Snake long before I came to the WWE.
Oh, I know that. That's why I'm asking who came up with that.
I did.
You
I
did?
came up, yeah.
How did you formulate this?
Well, I was drinking beer and smoking pot. And it was a long road trip. And we were listening to Monday Night Football. And they were talking about Kenny Stabler, the old quarterback for the Oakland Raiders. And they called him the Snake.
Oh.
As I was smoking that weed, I'm like, man, there needs to be a wrestler called the Snake, man. And he could freak people out, man, with the snake. And, yeah, he could put it on them, man. Yeah. And kept smoking. And so I came up with the snake thing. Jake the Snake, it rhymed.
Rhymed, yeah, of course.
The last name Roberts, the reason I picked Roberts was because at the time there was a TV program called Dallas.
I remember.
And the heel on there, Larry Hagman, was JR.
Right.
Jake Roberts.
Yep. All right. Not to be confused with Jim Ross, JR. But go ahead.
Yeah.
So where did you get the snake? Where did you get the snake and how did you deal with it?
Well, Bill, it was a great gimmick, but there was only one problem. I was terrified of snakes.
That's when you started doing drugs.
Yeah. My wife will tell you that's probably the reason I started doing drugs.
Because of the snake?
Yeah, it had nothing to do with it.
But where did you get your first snake from?
I can't remember, Bill.
But you held it in your hands and did the fear go away right away?
No, it did not. It surely didn't. And I was terrified of it, man. So I tried to get Bill Watts to let me carry a snake into the ring against you. But he didn't do that. He thought the best thing to do was for me to wear a hockey mask too. Well, that was really original, Bill. Yeah. Way to go, Mr. Watts.
So how did the snake thing finally get into the...
Well, WWF were all about it.
Yeah.
They came to me and asked, told me that I'd be carrying a snake. And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Why not? Right.
Vince McMahon had wrote some numbers down on a piece of paper and slid them over to me. And I looked at them and I'm like, oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, I'll carry a snake. Damn right.
Oh, look what it did. Look what it
did.
Made you Jake the Snake Roberts. So this scouting report now, there's a guy who retired recently. He came out of character, but one of the greatest characters in the history of this business. And we're talking about the Undertaker.
Yeah. Your
matches against the Undertaker. Give us a little feel of that.
Oh, they were simple. They were really simple, man. It was a time whenever Undertaker pretty much let me drive the car.
Really?
Yeah. He was still green to the business when I first got with him. But I spent a lot of time with him. And something rubbed off. He picked and chose what he needed, and he did a damn good job of it.
Was there anyone else in that company that could have portrayed that character as well?
I don't think anybody could have done it.
Yeah.
Kane would have been a close second,
Right.
but other than that, forget about it.
So let's get in the ring with the Undertaker. What were the strengths? What were the weaknesses of the Undertaker?
He was a great athlete. He was a great athlete.
Yeah, he played basketball when he was a young man. I talked with him recently. We did a series of interviews with him.
Yeah. He was a basketball player and in great shape. And his ring knowledge was a little thin because he hadn't had the time in the ring with that character yet.
Right.
So he was still learning how to do that character, basically.
So that would have been his weakness, actually.
Yes.
All right. Any Undertaker story before we end this episode?
I got to leave that alone.
Oh, now you're going to make maybe on your podcast?
Occasionally there might be a blurb out there about it, but yeah, that's rough ground to go over.
Okay, next time you and I meet together, maybe.
Yeah,
you know that. You know that. Where can people find your podcast?
Well, wherever you find podcasts, look for me. Look for The Snake Pit.
The Snake Pit, starring Jake the Snake Roberts. This is Bill Apter, and Jake, thanks again, and we'll see you at the matches.